one thing that helped not only our budget, but our health, and I've talked about this before, and that is processed foods. So I do live a plant-based lifestyle, and that doesn't mean that I'm 100% healthy all the time. I was eating a lot of processed vegan meals, a lot of processed vegan meatless meats, and even when we were to go out to eat with friends and family, I would be the one ordering the vegan burger or things like that, instead of ordering the tofu with plantains, like something a little bit more natural. I would just always go towards the junk food. So ever since the end of the summer last year, I started to do research when it came to what was in the foods that we were eating. I was not happy with how bloated I was always feeling, waking up with my fingers like extremely bloated, my face very bloated as well. So I started to do countless research on the ingredients of things that we have in the house. And as the months went by, I stopped purchasing a lot of processed foods. Don't get me wrong, we're not perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect life, so I want to put that out there. But I was consuming processed food every meal. So like breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, I was consuming something that was processed. I was never consuming like a whole healthy meal. Now I'm taking my health more serious than ever. And the number one thing that I stopped purchasing, and I highly recommend, is stop purchasing or consuming processed food 24/7. Not only is it killing your budget, but it is killing your health as well. Next is impulse buys. I feel like every adult or pre-adult goes through this route. I have went through this so many times when I was like a teenager, and then when I was in my early 20s, where you purchase things because it's either out of curiosity, or you purchase things because you want it, you need it, everyone else has it but you. Impulse buys is something you want to step far, far away from. And I say this with the kindness of my heart. Try your best to focus on what you need rather than what everyone else has. It truly does not matter. Like if you sit down and think, why do you need this item? Is it because everybody has it? Do you really need it for your hair? Or are you purchasing it for a fashion statement for everyone to see? Same thing goes for like rims on a car. Like I remember back in the day, people used to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on rims that light up, rims that spin when you're in a full stop. And I remember like a light bulb went off in my head, thinking like, all right, you just spent thousands of dollars on something where you're not even like, there's no benefits of it. All you're doing with that impulse buy is just trying to like get attention from others. So most impulse buys are either attention or insecurity when it comes to like, all right, well, I don't want to wear the same thing all the time, so I'm just gonna purchase like 5 sweaters here, 3 sweaters over there, maybe these 2 shirts too, maybe these pants, and then no one will see that I'm wearing the same thing all the time. Us humans tend to be overly influenced by our surroundings. It can not only hurt our wallet, but it can hurt the environment that you're in. So if you purchase a lot of things just due to impulse, whether it's to make you feel good, whether it's to make others look at you more, you are stuck with those items in your house, and it's just gonna get more and more cluttered. You're gonna have less space in your house, which is gonna make you wanna grab more organizers to organize the junk that you purchase. Like, it's a never-ending cycle. So in order to step out of that cycle, what you have to do is stop buying things you truly do not need. Trendy or unnecessary decor. When it comes to decor, or trendy decor I should say, decor is fine as long as it has a purpose in your house and it's kind of like an extension of yourself. That's great. But when it comes to trendy decor items or an excessive amount of decor, that's where it gets out of hand. I got a little bit out of hand. You can go back to my old videos and see how I used to live. Even though my first apartment was beautiful, I was a little too crazy when it came to the Buddha decor. I had Buddha paintings in every room. I had statues in every room. I had a bunch of plants, a little bit too much plants to the point where most of my plants end up getting like spider mites and a lot of bugs because I had too many plants, 98 plants, and I was treating that as a hobby slash decor. So I kept adding plants over and over and over because it became not only obsessive when it came to having more and more with plants, but it also was trendy to have a lot of plants in 2017. So obviously I don't have any right now. I actually own one plant. It's in the bathroom. And I do want to add that I'm not against having decor or having plants as decor. Everything in moderation. Just like what I said about the processed food, everything in moderation. And the biggest problem I will say when it comes to purchasing trendy decor items is the fact that trends die very, very fast. What's in now might not be in tomorrow or next week. Constant gift giving. When it comes to gift giving, especially nowadays, if you were to give a gift on every holiday in the US, you will go broke or you will be in debt by the end of the year, or before the end of the year, I should say. I remember the amount of anxiety I felt in my early 20s when I wanted to get my own apartment. I think I was like 22 and I wanted to get my own apartment so bad because everybody around me was getting their own place, and I felt so stuck because I was still learning about the real world, the adult world, and I didn't grow up with money. I remember seeing my friends at the time, and I remember when the holidays came around and they were like buying gifts, also paying rent, paying their cable bill, like paying all these bills while buying gifts, and it made me felt so like overwhelmed. It made me feel like I will never be able to do this. I'll never be able to afford bills and gifts. And then when I got older, adapted a minimalist lifestyle, I realized that gifts are optional. It doesn't matter if someone gets mad at you for not giving them a gift, then it says more about them than you. I tend to be a little bit biased with this one, but I'm just gonna say it, and that is excessive amount of beauty and skincare products. I have been through this route where I had a room filled with makeup. I had a closet filled with skincare products, and I thought that all of this stuff was gonna make me happy, make me beautiful, but in reality, it did the actual opposite. So when it came to my makeup obsession, I could not leave the house without makeup. And like, you would not catch me go into the grocery store without foundation, mascara, my eyebrows penciled, even though my eyebrows were already thick like this. I was just so insecure, and I feel like makeup made me insecure because I was constantly covering up who I really was. Same thing goes for skincare. I learned a lesson last year with skincare, and I've been showing my pictures of what I dealt with. I was getting comments saying how old I look, how fat I am now, and there's just so many mean people in this world, and the comments were getting to me really, really bad. And I thought like, all right, well, let me try to clear my skin. Let me try to make my skin look better and youthful and younger. My skin was already fine to begin with. It was just these people nitpicking at me and them making me think that I needed a makeover. I bought a bunch of skincare that made my skin worse, and I feel like that was the most valuable lesson I had to learn. And now I don't even have a skincare routine. So needless to say, the amount of money that I spent on makeup and skincare was so silly. It was things that I truly didn't need, especially in the amount that I was purchasing it in. I was purchasing an excessive amount. So that goes to show that beauty products, skincare products cannot always change how you feel. You have to work on that yourself. You have to work on that within yourself. So that's one thing I suggest you guys to like calm down on. I'm not gonna say like stop buying it completely because we do live in different times, but calm down on purchasing a lot of skincare products and beauty products. The last one is another controversial one, but that is to stop purchasing constant organizers. There are some things, yes, I can see, like when it comes to cereal, like putting the cereal in an organizer container, that definitely helps out, especially if you live in an apartment building or a home that gets little critters like ants. They tend to end up in the kitchen, unfortunately. I have never lived in an apartment where there weren't ants trying to go into the cereal. By the way, ants love sugar. They go for cereal, they go for the sugar bags. So having those in containers, perfectly fine. Also rice, having rice in a container, perfectly fine. Now, it gets kind of crazy when you see videos of people like organizing things in their cars that doesn't need to be organized. Also with the bathroom, I've seen so many videos. I don't want to like put any examples here because I don't want to call anybody out or be that mean or rude content creator. To each his own, again. But I do feel that buying constant organizers to organize things that already come in certain boxes is pointless. Not only pointless for your budget, but also the space in your home. Some of the organizers that are out there give me like the absolute headache because it's just like, why? Like another thing I've seen is like, it's like a plastic milk jug, and then you take the milk that you purchase and you pour it in the milk jug. It's like, why? Just so it can have like no labels and things like that on it. I get it, like you want things to look pretty, but is it worth your budget and your time? Like, is it worth it? To me, it's not worth it. Like there are certain things that I do own, like with organizers, and the organizers that I do own as of right now, like back in the day, I remember purchasing like these bamboo IKEA organizers. They're gone. So stupid. I did not need them. I purchased them for the aesthetic, the little wood aesthetic. There's so many things that I purchased at my first apartment that I don't own when it comes to organizers. And now what I do own with organizers is things that actually make sense. So for an example, I order these dish pods from Amazon, the dishwasher pods, and it comes in a cardboard box because it's like that less packaging type of company. I forgot what the company's name is, but I'll have them linked down below. I love those pods. They're unscented, which I'm a huge fan. I'm like trying to switch everything over when something runs out. I'm trying to switch a lot of things over to unscented because I really don't think I need my plates to smell like strawberries. So when it came to having those dish pods, the cardboard box, obviously that's not going to last forever, and with it being under the sink, sometimes under the sink like leaks water and you never know what's going to happen with under the sink. I have an organizer where the pods go inside and it's protected. So if under the sink starts to leak one day, pods are protected by that little container. It's nothing fancy. It's a small little container. I actually repurposed those containers. I have about, I think like 5 of them, and I was using them in the beginning for my skincare. And now that I don't have a skincare routine, I use those containers. Well, I gave my partner 2 of them for his razors, his hairbrush, things like that. So for my microfiber towels, my microfiber steam cloth to go under my steam mop, sponges, reusable sponges, and then the pods. So everything just fits there perfectly. So there's a need for those. Like I kind of repurpose a mistake that I made, which worked out at the end of the day, but sometimes that doesn't end up like that. It's like sometimes you purchase organizers that you waste a lot of money on. And like I said, the car organizers, like it's just such a huge headache. Like there's no need to have your middle console filled with snacks, filled with like, I mean, half the videos I see online, it's like, are you planning to go on a road trip? Are you planning to camp out in your car? And most of those videos are not. Like most of these people work from home. So it's like, you don't need all of that crap in your car. Never mind the organizers you bought to organize the crap. It's just insane. I can go on and on about this topic, but moral of the story, try to calm down on the organizers or stop buying organizers that you don't need to purchase. Like I said, the food ones, I totally get. Pros and cons to having organizers. The biggest con is purchasing organizers with things that don't need to be organized. I want to end this video off on a positive note. I want to say thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I never ever say that. in my videos because I don't want to sound like a YouTuber from 2015, but it will help me out a lot, you guys, if you like and subscribe. Comment down below what items you feel like people should stop purchasing in order for them to save money and save space.